All right, YouTube, it is Mr. Mean coming at you this August 13th, Tuesday, 2019. I took the day off. My blood pressure is out of whack, and I felt horrible yesterday, and I woke up this morning, and I didn't feel much better. I hate missing a day of work. I actually love my job. I like the people I work with. It's a great bunch of guys and everything, but you got to take care of your health. And so I have a doctor's appointment here in about an hour, so this won't be a very long video, but I wanted to get this out here. Today's video du jour isn't a review of a game. It's a little bit of a rant and just food for thought. And I'm going to title this, "Why Are You Paying Twice to Play a Game?" And Mr. Mean, what does that mean, paying twice to play a game? I just got an email from Pinnacle, who I love, Jody Black and everybody over there, Shane Lacey Hensley and Jody Black and Clint Black. I've met them all. They're all wonderful, nice people, and I love the company. I'm a huge Savage Worlds fan. I have most of their games. But they just announced, I just got an email, and I'm sorry I don't have my software set up to show you my screen, but I got an email. And in the email, it says, "Transcend your limits and unleash your power with the playtest version of Arcana and Mysticism for Savage Worlds." And I was super excited. And of course, it's a hyperlink. So I clicked on it and I followed it to their webpage. And I'll put a link down in the doobly-doo. Savage Riffs Arcana and Mysticism, $19.99, $20 for a PDF. And it goes on to talk about it. I'll let you guys read it. But in red letters down at the bottom, it says, "This is a playtest version, and we do not recommend printing the PDF at this time." Well, good on you guys for telling us that. I appreciate that. That's, forewarned is forearmed, forearmed is forewarned, right? So excited to see that. Glad to see their and this is for the new Suede, Savage Worlds Adventure Edition. I'm very excited to see that they're doing that. And of course, I'll probably pick it up when it comes out as a physical hard copy of the book. But I'm a little miffed that we are paying, and follow me here, we're paying them to make their game that we're going to buy again once it releases. What? Screw you. No. Come on, guys. Pull your head out of your ass. You're paying twice for a game that you're going to play that you're going to buy anyway. So why would you pay for it twice? And before everyone starts screaming, "Oh, it's a playtest and we get to do it," I'll remind you, go back and look at Force and Destiny from Fantasy Flight Games. A week after it came out, the document that you bought, you spent your hard-earned money on that playtest flimsy paper, was useless. The rules had changed so much in, I think, a week or two, that document, that book that you bought at Gen Con for $30 was a paperweight. You might as well go wipe your ass with it because it was useless. And I love Savage Worlds. I love Pinnacle. I love all the guys there. Everybody knows I'm a huge Sean Patrick fan and fanboy, and he was with Pinnacle for a long time, and he's got his own company, Evil Beagle Games and stuff, and they do amazing stuff. Shintar is one of my absolute favorite settings, but my God, people, come on. We're paying you to develop a game that you're supposed to be developing. And then on top of that, we're going to pay you the privilege of buying it a second time for probably more money. I'll bet you 10 to 1 that book is going to come out for $29 or $39.95. That's stupid. You're going to buy the playtest as a PDF. And there's some of us, and I would be one of them too. I would go physically print it because I like a hard copy. I don't want to read off of a screen. I have bad eyes. And reading off of a computer screen for hours on end is just not conducive to me. So I want a physical Dead Tree copy. But Fantasy Flight did it. Who else did it? Somebody else just did it. Put it down in the doobly-doo, guys, if you remember. Somebody else just did a playtest document that we could buy. I can't remember who it was. Green Ronin did it, but they didn't charge you anything. And back in the day, the process was you would sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement for those who don't know. you would sign an NDA that basically says you won't post any images, you won't talk about it outside of what they specifically state you can talk about, and you won't physically show any of the product that you're playtesting. And in compensation, you will get credits in the book as a playtester. And I have my name in several books. And I was just, and hey, that's awesome. I get access to game materials that aren't out on the market yet. I don't have to pay anything except whatever it costs me to print it off, and if you're lucky enough like me to be in IT or have access to a network printer, you could print it on LaserJet and it literally pennies, half a quarter of a cent on a dollar, and you can print a couple pages, and off you go. But Fantasy Flight made the book completely useless. Pathfinder, that's the other one. Pathfinder did the same thing. Pathfinder came out with three or four products that for the full gaming experience you were going to have to buy. You didn't have to now. I will say, in all fairness, they gave everything away for free as a PDF. But if you wanted to buy a physical hard copy, you could, of the flip mats, the adventure, and the actual playtest document. And they were reasonably priced. I think the playtest document was like $20, if I remember. It might have been $29. I don't remember. It's been a while now, over a year. But hey, I helped playtest it. I bought it. You hooked me. I bought the flip mats. I did not buy the adventure because I just printed it because it was only like 100 pages. And they didn't even have you do an NDA. I don't think. I think you just downloaded it, and I think they did say you couldn't stream it or anything like that. I don't remember. Don't quote me on that part. But I do remember, buying the book, and after about the second or third playtest session, the book was pretty much useless because the rules had evolved. I mean, the action economy stayed the same. Some of the mechanics stayed the same, but a lot of the intricacies were changed. So the book was kind of still relevant, and I don't feel like I got ripped off for buying that book. And the flip mats I'm using them in my Midgard campaign right now. So the flip mats were definitely a buy, and I think those are good bang for the buck. But now Pinnacle, a company who I love and respect and have backed the Rifts Kickstarter, stupid amount of money. I think I did over $200 for the Rifts Kickstarter. They're now charging you $20 for a PDF. A PDF, $10. I'd still be pissed, but at least I'd be like, oh, it's $10. It's a tenner. It's no big deal. But $20? $20 is steep for a PDF that the rules are going to change. And they're even telling you. They're foreshadowing it by telling you, hey, these rules are going to change. Don't print this. Which, thank you. That's cool. But guys, I'm really disappointed in Pinnacle in this. Am I the only one? I know I'm Mr. Mean. I know I'm grumpy and, get off my lawn. And I'm kind of a jerk. I know that. That's what my brand is all about. I say the things that other people don't necessarily want to say or want to voice or want to give credence to. But I'm sorry, I'm going to call bullshit on this. Pinnacle, you're wrong. $20 for a playtest document, that's too much. Either give it for free or, $5-10. Yeah, you're not hurting for money. You've got some great licenses. All your Kickstarters have done bunkers. There's no reason except greed. And I'm sick and tired of greed infecting our hobby. Monty Cook is another one with his damn Numenera, and every game he comes out with is a Kickstarter, and he raises millions of dollars. Is he doing anything for charity? Is he giving back to gamers besides making a game? And don't get me wrong, I'm not against Kickstarter. I love Kickstarter, but I think Kickstarter should be for small press companies and homebody people like me that want to get their game out there and don't necessarily have the financial means. I've recently sworn off Kickstarter for just that reason, because I'm sick. Ulysses Spiel, another company, love them to death. I love The Dark Eye. I love Torg. But they go to Kickstarter for everything, and they don't need to. They're using it as an advanced pre-order is all it is. And that's bullshit. Produce your game, put it out, and let people buy it. I get the economic business standpoint of it. If I put it on Kickstarter and I pre-order 10,000 copies, and I know I'm going to sell probably a good 5,000 to another 10,000 copies, I'll put in an order for a print run of 20,000 copies. I know I'm saving money. Great. That's awesome. That part of the business I get. I get that. But this greed, this pre-ordering, getting your money, locking your money down for sometimes in excess of a year that they're gaining interest on. You're not. They've collected your funds, and now, oh my God, don't even get me started. Shotguns and Sorceries took 4.5 years. They sat on my $100 for 4.5 years, gaining interest on that money. That's I hope those guys rot in hell. I really do. But I'm just saying, guys, we're letting, and gals, we're letting the RPG industry get greedy when it's always been about caring, promoting your fellow man, camaraderie, learning, reading, social interaction. They call us nerds and they call us geeks. Well, guess what? 20 years later, nerds and geeks are ruling the fucking world. We're the guys with the high-paying jobs, not these, jocks that, were pushing us around in high school. Luckily, I didn't get pushed around too much. I played lacrosse, and I was 5'10", 5'11" at 12 years old. So I was one of the bigger kids in school, and I was a little bit on the chunky side. So I didn't get picked on too much. But I did get a lot of shit for playing D&D. The only difference is I had this fucking monkey arm wingspan, and I could reach out and touch someone from halfway across the room. So I didn't get a lot of shit, but a lot of my friends did. I remember backing up my friend Melvin, got his ass beat because he told someone he was going to come over to my house and play D&D, and a couple of guys jumped him after school and called him a nerd. And I had to jump in with him, and we both got in a fight, and then we got in trouble. Ain't that some shit? So I just think this industry is turning, a turn for the worst. And Pinnacle is a great company, and I admire 99% of the stuff they do. Ulysses Spiel is a great company. I admire everything they do. I'll tell you, one of the shining stars in this industry that nobody has mentioned is Modifius. Modifius went to Kickstarter for Conan, for Infinity, and Mutant Chronicles, and not even in order. It was Mutant Chronicles first, I think Infinity, and Conan. They all came out relatively on time. I think I did not get to back the Mutant Chronicles, which I'm a huge Mutant Chronicles fan. I didn't get to back it because unfortunately I was unemployed at the time and I didn't have the money. But I did eventually pick up the books, and you can see a lot of them on the shelf back there, and I have a lot of the original Mutant Chronicles stuff. So I've been a true blue fan for years. I even own the NES Mutant Chronicles video game on the Super NES. So, but Modifius, who they've got all kinds of licenses. They got John Carter, Warlord of Mars. They've got Infinity. They've got Mutant Chronicles. They've got Conan. They've got they're producing Mindjammer. I mean, and now they're just kind of a production warehouse, but they're getting a cut of that pie. They're not going to Kickstarter for every little thing they're doing. They just did Fallout, the board game, and they're doing Fallout, the RPG, using their 2D20 system, which, by the way, if you haven't tried it, it's a phenomenal system. I highly recommend it. It's a very good mechanic system. It seems to work really... Oh, they got the license for Star Trek, and I don't even think they... Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think they did a Kickstarter for Star Trek. I think they just produced it. What? A major company would produce product and not go to Kickstarter? Now, and you mean to tell me Monty Cook, who has been in this industry for 20 plus years, who can go to any publishing company and say, hey, I want to write a book, and they'll cut him a check before he even provides the book, has to go to Kickstarter to get stuff produced? No. These big companies are abusing Kickstarter, and they're taking you for a ride. Keep your money in the fucking bank, put it towards your kid's college fund, or go buy some lesser-known game from some guy that's starving, working out of his garage, and him and his wife are packing boxes at 3 o'clock in the morning to produce a game to bring you enjoyment, and they're truly going to benefit from that money, as opposed to someone like Monty Cook, or even Pinnacle. I mean, Shane Hensley has a nice house. I've driven by it, in Arizona. All his kids have gone to college. He's paid for all his kids to go to college. His wife has a good job, I believe. I don't know. I don't know his financial state, but I can tell you he's not living paycheck to paycheck. He employs several people. He doesn't need to go to Kickstarter. His name carries enough weight that he can go to a public. He can go to Studio 2, which I think he may even be part owner of. He can go to Studio 2 and say, hey, I want to print a book. And they'll be like, okay. And they'll give him terms. He don't even have to come up with the money right there. So I think it's an abuse. I really do. I think it's unfair to us and to the gaming community. And I say shame on you, Pinnacle, and shame on you, Monty Cook, and shame on you, Ulysses Spiel. And Cool Mini or Not. Cool Mini or Not they're a hit or miss, man. They do produce some great board games and miniature games, but they have like horrible times, and sometimes the quality isn't all it's cracked up to be. And I've heard I won't back anything from them because I'm afraid I'm not going to get it in time, and I'm really skeptical about backing anything on Kickstarter now from a major company. I wanted to back the new Torg. I think it's the Isle book, which is kind of the fantasy, the England setting, European setting, but because I really dig the new Torg, but they don't need our pre-order money. They have enough capital. Ulysses Spiel is a huge company, and they're an international company. They're based out of Germany, and they have a big corporate office here in America. They're employing people. They don't need to go to Kickstarter to produce these games. Don't get me wrong, the Dark Eye is gorgeous. The production value on it is top-notch. But it was top-notch before it went to Kickstarter. And I just feel that these companies are doing you and I a disservice by sitting on our money for sometimes in excess of a year, gaining interest on it. And what do we get for it? We get a couple stretch goals, and we get a book that we probably overpaid for. Let's be honest. You probably overpaid for it because you wanted it, Kickstarter exclusive. So it's the same book with a slightly different cover. Or maybe it might even have a chapter, which I haven't seen too many of that. Maybe it has a chapter, or it'll have a pamphlet, or it's an exclusive GM screen. Whoop-de-frickin-do, guys. The game still plays the same. Stop wasting your money. Stop incentivizing and enabling these multi-million-dollar companies from sitting on your money. Monty Cook, we counted up just the Kickstarters that we could find, and it was over $4 billion. Was it $4 billion or $4 million? I think it was $4 million. $4 million in Kickstarter. I don't even remember now. Maybe it was $4 billion. I don't remember. It was a shit ton of money, though. And that's ridiculous for an RPG. I'm glad, there's a lot of people out there that like Numenera. I personally don't care for it. The only thing from Numenera that I really, really like is Gods of the Fall. Everything else, take a flying leap. I don't care about it. I think Monty Cook is a crook. I'm sorry. I just don't think that... excuse me, let me retract that. He's not a crook. He's a very shrewd businessman. And he's made a lot of money off of our greed. Because we want this game now. We want it before everybody else. But you're not getting it before everybody else. Because when it releases on Kickstarter... Okay, and I retract again. Full of retractions here. You are getting it a week, maybe 2 weeks, a month before everybody else who can walk in the game store and buy it right off the shelf. And it's pretty much the same damn book that you pre-ordered through Kickstarter. I went and I bought... what did I just buy? I went to my favorite local game store, Level Up, over in Wisconsin, and I pre-ordered the new Pathfinder. I got the bestiary, the GM screen, and the core rulebook. And go back in the archive there and check out my flip through. I didn't really do a review. I just talked about it a little bit because there's a ton of reviews out there, so I didn't think I was going to provide anything extra. Gorgeous books, totally worth it. I did it because they were offering a special discount. If you pre-ordered and turned in your playtest document, they would give you 25% off your whole order of whatever you ordered. So it was incentivizing you to order everything or a lot of stuff and get 25%. So in my case, I don't like pre-printed adventures, and they weren't coming out until later in August and September anyway. So I got the 3 books. I got the GM screen, the Monster Manual, and the core book. And basically with the 25% off, I got the GM screen for free, which I thought was kind of a letdown because the GM screen was overpriced for what it was. But go back and watch my review on that. But here's the sad part. I went to Amazon. Amazon.com. I am a Prime member. It costs you, what, $120 a year? I have more than made my money back in the shipping part alone anyway. Which I'm probably not going to renew next year. Side rant. Because now what Amazon does is if you order over, I think it's $35, $30 or $35, you get free shipping anyway. So just wait and order $35 or more and you'll get free shipping. And it's 2-day shipping. So there's no sense paying. I mean, Amazon Prime TV is nice, but I have Netflix, and Prime really doesn't have anything on it that I really care to watch. I think out of the years that I've had Prime, I've only watched The Tick and The Boys, and I haven't even finished watching The Boys. So it's not really worth it for me. And Prime Music, man. So anyway, rant closed. Moving on. I went on Amazon and I looked at the prices. If I would have bought, I totaled it up. And here's the sad part. It came out cheaper and would have had it on time because my local game store, all the Pathfinder stuff came out Thursday night, Gen Con. But my game store was closed because they had rented out the building for a big wedding reception. And so they were closed that night. So I couldn't even go pick it up the day it came out. I had to go get it on Friday after work. So no big deal. I mean, but if I would have ordered it on Amazon, I would have got it Thursday. At the worst, I'd have got it Friday. And I would have gotten the GM screen basically for free. I think my final cost on the GM screen after everything was said and done was about $10 out of a $20 GM screen. So I would have got the GM screen for free if I'd have bought it off of Amazon, as opposed to getting the 25% off and buying those 3 items and getting a fraction off of each. I'm glad I helped out. I'm glad it went to charity. Those Pathfinder books are going to go to the schools and organizations to help promote role-playing and stuff. So that's very cool. So, and I'm glad I was able to help that way. But if I was just trying to save a buck, I'd have gone through Amazon. And so, like the Torg books, I can buy those on Amazon. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna not back these Kickstarters. I'm just gonna buy them on Amazon when they come out. You get them the day they release, so you'll get them either at the same time or shortly after all the Kickstarter people get their stuff. Yeah, I won't get all the cool swag, but 90% of that stuff is a PDF and or it's up on the web for free anyway later on. So is it really worth it? No. We're just being greedy and we're lazy and we want it now. And I say stop. I say stop promoting this. So, I mean, you guys can do what you want with your money, but I'm going to keep mine in the bank, and I am not going to waste it on, companies that don't need my money. And I'm going to buy it anyway, but might as well save a buck and buy it on Amazon, and still get it, and just as good quality, and, nothing wrong, and I don't have to go, am I hurting my local game store? No, because the game stores here don't carry anything. They only support 40K and Magic. And they don't even have everything for 40K. And 90% of the stuff you want at your local game store, at least in my area, they have to special order. So I might as well order it off of Amazon or, miniaturemarket.com and get it for a little bit cheaper. So I love my favorite local game store, but I don't play games there. I don't take up space there. I go in there to hobnob and talk with people. But, there's no, if they were to close up shop tomorrow, it would not affect me. That's sad to say, but I have Amazon, and as far as Dungeons Inn, they can take a flying fuck because I don't care about them. They're horrible customer service. I pre-ordered the Warhammer box set, and they haven't called me to tell me it's come out. They have my email. I have a card in there that tells them, requesting gamers, every time I go in, they take it down. After I go in, they take it down. And this was before I started, saying anything ill of them. And after they pissed me off with a meetup group where they weren't charging me to use a space, and now they're charging. So it's just a big, ugly thing. And that's the way they want to run their business. They are more than welcome to it. I don't have to spend my money there. And I don't. And I don't go there. And I tell everybody I know, don't go there, because they're jerks. They don't care about you. They just want your money. And that's all they care about. And it's a shame, because some of the kids that work there are really nice kids. But the owners, I have no respect for. They're in it for the money. They don't care about the hobby. And it's okay to be, a businessman or a businesswoman and make money, but at least care about what you're doing. So anyway, guys, that's my rant. I just wanted to throw it out there and give my 2 cents on this trend I'm seeing in the hobby of paying for a game that you're going to pay for anyway later on down the line, and the privilege of playtesting when playtesting used to be free and playtesting actually meant something. Making me pay $20 to playtest something, whoop-de-doo. That doesn't make me feel special, because I paid for it. It's like paying my daycare. Do I feel special that I use that daycare? No, I pay them to take care of my kid while he's in daycare. So there's nothing special about it. They're doing a job that I paid them to do, which is, we buy role-playing games because someone put their hard-earned time and energy and creativity into creating that game, so we pay for it. That is commerce. That is the basics of how it works. You want something, someone else makes it, you give them money, they give you the product. I'm okay with that. But now we're doing their job for them. This is ridiculous. You're basically paying those guys, you're paying them to do their job, and all they're going to do is sit back and collect money. And I guarantee you, it just went up today on their website, and I'm sure they've already made a couple $1,000 off of it, if not more. That's ridiculous. That's not fair to us as consumers. That's not fair. Your creativity. If that's the case, why don't they call out to arms and say, hey, we're writing a new source book, come help us make it, and we'll give everybody creative credit in it, And, if you were one of the people that we used your product in, we'll give you $2 off the book, or $3 off the book, or 20%, whatever. But no, it's pure greed. They're charging you $20 for a playtest content that's not even fit to print. They even tell you, don't print it. It's going to change. You're going to waste your paper. So $20, and it may be the greatest thing since sliced bread, and I really hope it is. I just think it's unfair, and it's not good to charge us to playtest your game that you're creating, and then turn around and use our hard work that we paid you for. That is akin to being a slave and paying the master to go pick cotton. That's horrible, and we should not be doing that. That's tantamount. That's what it basically boils down to. I'm a slave, and I'm going to pay you to be a slave. And if you're okay with $20 and doing their job for them, good for you, man. I'm not going to do it. So anyway, that's my rant. I'm going to post this later tonight. I have to go to the doctor right now and then go pick up my son from daycare. And we're going to play and have a good time. And I hope everyone is well. And I hope this trend in the industry doesn't catch on. And I hope they don't sell very many playtest copies. And I hate to say that because I love Pinnacle. Don't get me wrong. Love them to death. But I think this is a shitty business practice. And they're not the only ones doing it. So anyway, guys, peace, love, and hair grease. And remember, Mr. Mean says be nice.